You just go to, you need to have on your Chrome or browser, you're already with Google account logging somehow, like your Gmail, whatever is working. So this is what you supposed to see. Okay. I have a slide deck I will introduce more formally, what's kind of behind it. And this is my personal Google account. When they say try, that's how you get started. But even though you have tried it already, this you first time you come in, this you say try. Okay. Um, there's a free plan allow you to have 15 notebooks. Professional may give you more. The free plan is good enough actually in most of the case. Um, this is how you create a new uh, notebook, like create new notebook. If you use a lot up to like 50, then you find out you don't see this. You may not even see this. Just means you use all the 50 quota that notebook that allow for free plan. Okay. They do have some feature notebook, which is probably produced by somebody else. So you can see what's possible, which can be fancier, whatever you can learn from, at least know what's possible. There's some notebook that someone else may be sharing with you. By the way, you can share what you produce with others. Um, so click on um, create a notebook. Okay. And let's see, go and find maybe a document that just happened on your computer. Uh, I'm not sure whether this works on mobile phone, but you can try on mobile phone if you don't have a computer. They may have a mobile app. Not 100% sure. You can check. And but do bring your computer on next time. Laptop. If you don't have a computer, then library may have some computer you can check out for a while, but based on ability, with limited availability. Uh, Let me try. I actually upload YouTube video quite a bit because sometimes even after watching a 20 minutes YouTube video, I kind of, wow, that's great and good information, but I don't remember much afterward. So I have the system to produce something for me, which may be more condensed. I'll show you some example of that. But I'm going to upload just a file, which is our reading material that um, I'm going to just download this one. You try your own, whatever can be PDF file, could be a YouTube video, could be a book chapters. I'm going to this PDF, hopefully that's readable. I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out. Some PDF are all images. I'm not sure whether the system has the ability to read it. Sorry, down low. They will summarize it for you. It's like executive summary, okay, in the middle. And by the way, you can add source, different kinds of video, URL of a website, a Google Drive document, or just, for instance, you have a conversation with ChatGPT or Gemini, part of the response you really like it, you can copy that and paste it over through this copy text, so that they can digest images, whatever multimedia input. Okay. And another thing which is here available here, but you can see it here, they can do you can just say, oh, I want this from the web. I want whatever, for instance, like data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. Explanation from the web. And also can be fast research or deep research. This is actually also search the web, but more methodologically, not just based on keyword, but also probably they will do further more in-depth analysis and reporting. You can try this. So basically, they do have search function built in to help you to find source input. Remember input process output? We're talking about the input. Okay, quality input. Let me see whether this will work. Kind of they research certain website for that. And by the way, I use the acronym data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. That's partially the essence of this article. Okay, so they found a YouTube video, some additional thing, and to keep it simple, you can deselect all of them. Some of them you can pick the one that you want to use to do some downstream processing. Okay, this is just input. Okay. You can certainly have all of them. So let's see, where's my first? Okay. Where's the one that I uploaded? Doesn't seem to be here. Okay, I'll pick one at least for now. Just get one. So I got two. Okay. And by the way, you can have a conversation with your resource. Just to keep it simple, I'll say, I'm not sure I'm not sure when the source has like information life cycle. Okay. Informations or so not our cycle. Our cycle may be something from different source, not from this. But they do have that expandability. Remember, compressible, diffusion, shareable. That's exactly from the article. Okay. And so what does in let me refer back to this document. Diffusive, okay. So I have trouble explaining that myself. Okay, based on the source. Okay, this is important. Unlike ChatGPT, they've been trained, they read a lot of stuff. So when they answer your question, it's really based on that largest corpus of text they have which has been used to train it to answer your question. Here, they answer your question based on the source you selected. So it's very, very strict and limited. They don't hallucinate. Okay, they don't use other source. They do use large language model capability certainly to write the stuff up, but it's really based on the document that you provided. Okay. Information described as aggressive and imperialistic. Okay, constantly striving to break out of the nature band of secrecy that people try to impose on it. Virus analogies, so it's go viral. We do use the term. Growth through leakage. Okay, that's kind of security leak and legal, ethical. So this is a kind of difficult term. And it has multiple layer of meaning. Okay, but here you can at least what that articles set. One thing that I like, let me try to use both to generate the infographic. I'll generate the slide deck. I'll generate multiple stuff. Okay. And by the way, oh, sorry, depends where you click. If you click on this pen icon, which means you can customize it. If you click on other area of this whatever feature, then they will just go ahead and do it for you by default, whatever the default setting. Okay. Default is the term that we use. It's like predefined setting. Okay. If you don't specify it, that's the setting you're going to use. We call it default value. Let's do the video overview, audio overview, video overview. This will take time. So there's also mind map showing the structure of the article. Report, let's just say study guide. I don't particularly like study guide, but for study, that's a good, excuse me, that's a good document to have. Let me see. Let's do a blog post. Okay. You can further customize it. And by the way, you can specify the language you want in output. Okay. So the language setting can also be set over here globally. My default now is English. Okay. What does that mean? That it's an output language, it's not input language, which means your input source can have any language you like, but they can digest it and output it in a particular language. Okay. So it's really doing the translation for you. Okay. I do have some video that I found which is in Chinese, so I understand Chinese, but my output is all English. Okay, there's the conversion is almost perfect. Okay. And so if you like some material in Spanish and you want it to produce in English, you can do that, or English and convert it to Spanish, and you can do that as well. Because large print mode is very good in terms of translation by default. Let's see, flashcard, quiz, you can try those. I'm going to skip that. Data table, let me customize it. Because a lot of time, if you don't, data table is new feature. If you don't specify, it's a little bit difficult. Like, what kind of table do you want? It's very difficult for them to figure out. They would try their best, but may not be what you need. So this is where I think I would do this customization more. We'll talk about this data information knowledge wisdom hierarchy. I don't, okay. I think that's good on table explaining. One of the output that I like a lot is this infographic. And I use ChatGPT, I use Gemini, I use Gemini's Nano Banana Pro for generate infographic. Okay, it's very useful tool. It's almost like a fancy mind map, in my opinion. I'll show you the mind map. Wow, that's really fancy. Okay, data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. There's something which is not right. Wisdom as Y, but that should be here, right? Okay. So this was out of place. Knowledge as how, that should be here. The reason is actually our original article doesn't have the data there. So the system can be confused. Another article has the 4 level. Okay, and this is why maybe you should use just one source for a particular purpose. Okay, so and this is where you still need to have human in the loop and say, oh, that I don't think that's right. Maybe let's do this. But it really looks nice. Okay, just without even reading it, that's kind of nice infographic. But this information is expandable, information is shareable. They have those icons, information is compressible from all those compressed to formula. But by the way, oops, sorry. Let me kind of recreate the data table, okay, and delete the one that was created. And I haven't read this article, but I'm going to just make sure that they did not, because I deleted the original one. Information, knowledge, and wisdom. Okay. You can try on your own to just find any source, whatever convenient, something on your computer or some YouTube video that you like to watch, but just doesn't have the time to do it. I'll show you. Oh, so this is done. Oh, sorry, I meant to, but let's look at this one. You can expand it, so you kind of have a whole room. Data, information, knowledge, and wisdom, that's a 4 level, and definition, and question answered, who, what, when, where, how, and why. That's good. Time, past, the futures, future, more proactive. That's good. Actionability, low, moderate, high, and very high, and example. And by the way, the source just means which document they refer to. Okay. You can click. No, I cannot click. Okay. Let me and let me for the infographic, since I didn't like the one they generated, I deselect our article and use another source, although I don't know whether that's really good or not. But let me regenerate. Oh, sorry. You can customize it. You can customize it in terms of the landscape, portrait, square, standard, detail, and concise. I usually just use the default. You can give, actually, we call it system prompt in terms of infographic, the style, whatever you want to use. And typically, I'm very happy with the default settings. So I'm going to just not changing it and just click on it. It would take a while. I'll show you whatever being produced a little bit. Like, okay, that's the mind map. Okay. DIKW hierarchy, data, information, knowledge, wisdom. Okay, characteristical information. We talk about that. Let's look at it. Expandable, compressible, substitutable, transportable, diffusive. If you want to know what tends to leak, okay, that's and by the way, you can condense it, expand it, like transportable. Do they have more? So that's not very meaningful. However, diffusive, once again, if you click on this, if you click on the box, not that arrow, greater, less than sign, they go and find and explain what this diffusive mean in the source, this 1, 2, 3. That's based on the PDF file we uploaded. So it's grounded to the source that you provided. Unlike ChatGPT or Gemini, usually they don't tell you where to get the information. This is kind of cited. Technically, this is actually called, this is considered some assistant called RAG, called retrieval augmented generation. Okay, a technical term. Don't worry too much about it. But basically, it's like it they answer the question specifically based on the information you provided. So this is where it's different from the typical large language model that you interact with. It's more reliable based on the information that you have received. That's video overview. So that takes a long time. I'll show you the slide deck. Is this? Okay, that's the slide deck. We're not going to certainly lecture on this, but I'm going to say, okay, that looks nice. They captured this came from the article itself, right? In my slide as well, I got it from the article. They extract that and put it in because the hierarchy is only information, knowledge, and wisdom. The hierarchy of understanding beginning with fact and ending with integration. That's a nice thing. Somehow they have data here. Yeah. In the article, data and information kind of grouped together, and they kind of explain a little bit. Okay, where the wisdom, we have lost knowledge. That's T.S. Eliot's saying, which is I like. It's probably in the article. They try to explain what data is. And by the way, this comes from two sources: what information and knowledge. Okay, detail is not important, but because you can try and develop some. And by the way, if you provide the same information and run through this, you may not get exactly the same thing. That's the nature of large language model in general. Okay. So it's pretty good. A lot of time I would, if I need to build a slide, I like a few of the images. I would just say copy image, I'll paste it into my PowerPoint and use it. Unfortunately, at this point, you cannot edit the text. And by the way, a lot of time the text may not be totally correct. So you need to be a little bit careful. Sometimes I will go back and actually do some editing or type up something, cover whatever is incorrect and replace it. There's a tricky way of converting to be editable PowerPoint slide, but it's a little bit too much for me. I kind of gave up. Eventually, I think they will provide a solution in the system that allow you to create PowerPoint or Google slide, which are editable. Okay. Typically, in my case, probably 13 slide or 14, and so so it's pretty good. Okay. I end up a lot of time just reading the slide without reading the article. Okay. If you don't have time, okay, I'm not kind of encouraged to do the same, but maybe read the article and kind of say how they summarize. Okay, then you learn. Am I capturing the key point? Let me show you this. Hopefully the audio is done. Okay. I'll show you the audio. Audio, there's two ways you can use the audio. Okay. This is new, called interactive mode. It's very, very interesting. Okay. And by the way, just like one of you saying you're using it, you read something and podcasting and just kind of review the material, reading the article without reading the article, listen to the podcast generated by NotebookLM. I'm going to show you the interactive mode, okay, which you start. Uh-oh, the sound is not big enough. Let me see. Oops, sorry. I always have some trouble with the audio. Let's see. Select a speaker. Let me see. Give me just a little bit time to check it out. Hmm. It's a little bit of sound, but it's not loud enough. Speaker, let me see. Speaker. Oh, I see.
We just added the data and actually know what to do with it.
Okay.
We mistake volume for value.
Right, and that is our mission for this deep dive. We're going to try and cure some of that confusion. We're going to unpack the hierarchy of human understanding. We're going to figure out the difference between data, information, knowledge, and wisdom.
And to do that, we
So usually there's two hosts talking to each other.
sources today.
We do. First up, we have a technical breakdown of something called the DICW pyramid, something called architect, capability, financial technology, knowledge graph, very technical.
They speak a little bit faster for me.
Absolute gems in the archives, the visionary architects.
Let me try this. I'm not sure whether.
Here.
First of all, can you slow down just a little bit? And secondly, that I'm interested in the hierarchy, particularly the highest level, which is the wisdom. Can you first explain what wisdom is about? Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you for jumping in.
Yes, great point allocation. Definitely slow them down.
And focusing on wisdom first is a great idea. It is the destination after all.
What's fascinating here is that wisdom is the top of the pyramid for a reason.
Yeah, it's the most critical distinction. We can be incredibly knowledgeable and, well, completely unwise.
Wisdom answers the big question. Why do something and what it says?
Well, data and information looks past, collecting what happened with, oh, yeah,
Okay, and by the way, there is a cartoon of the caveman in one of the article that show the wisdom. Can you explain the wisdom based on that?
the caveman analogy from the Cleveland article.
And we are going to use it right now to explain the wisdom you have.
It's the perfect illustration of why wisdom is the top of the pyramid.
If data and information are going to look back at the past, collecting what happened, wisdom is future oriented.
Wisdom is future oriented. It's what you do next.
It's integrated knowledge applied in action.
The architect story says that wisdom is taking knowledge and insight and turning them into a learning skill.
It's the highest level. It's about making proactive. Oh yeah, let's hear it.
You're not answering me properly. Like in the cartoon, like there's like almost like a circle of food chain, and then the caveman's enlightenment, although it didn't say it clearly, but it's like you shouldn't kill all the wolf. Can you articulate that a little bit for me?
We hear you, and you are completely correct.
You are picking up on the absolute core message of that cartoon.
You've gone right to the wisdom layer. We can definitely elaborate on that specific insight.
That cartoon shows 3 steps, right? The first 2 are just building up to your final observation.
In the first panel, the wave man sees the isolated fact.
That's the information layer. Haters that rain falls and wolves eat rabbits.
But he sees these as separate points, isolated pieces.
The second panel, knowledge, is where he connects the dots and realizes it's a food chain.
He draws the arrow. He sees how the pieces are connected.
Your point, you shouldn't kill all the wolves. That's the third panel. That's wisdom.
It's the realization of the bigger picture. If I kill off all the wolves, the rabbits will eat up all the grass, and the soil will all wash away.
That's the why you do something and what is best question projected into the future.
It's not just a fact. It's an integrated judgment based on understanding the long-term consequences.
Knowledge understood the food chain cycle.
Wisdom understood the consequence of intervening in that cycle. That's the critical distinction.
It's realizing that what is best is not always what seems easiest.
It involves those essential elements: ethics, values, and consequences.
Harlan Cleveland, the author,
So you get an idea. So you can actually interrupt. You can certainly listen, but there's interactive mode, which is new. They put it in, allow you to interact with the host. And they did a good job at the end. And at the beginning, I don't think they get my idea, and they didn't slow down for me. I don't think they slowed down. It's a little bit too fast. And this is the video. They call it audio review, video review. We're certainly not going to, usually it's only like 7 minutes long.
Okay, let's be real. We're absolutely swimming in data. I mean, every click, every search, every single day. But how do we turn all that noise into something that we can actually use? Well, today we're going to dive into a really powerful framework that helps us do exactly that. To get started, I want you to travel back with me. The year is 1982. World that we live
I'm going
in
to,
today.
this texture came from the article. I'm going to jump around a little bit.
1982 by a writer named Carly Cleveland, who, you'll see, saw the future with absolutely stunning clarity. So Cleveland's big idea was this. He said it isn't used up when you use it.
Sometimes I like not the video itself, but the
Compressible.
slide in the video they use. I actually use that other than the slide deck.
Transportable at the speed of light. Diffusive, which means it's almost impossible to keep secret. It just leaks. And finally,
This one.
shareable, where giving it away means you still have it. He was basically describing the blueprint of our modern world, decades before it was even built. But okay, Cleveland didn't just stop at defining information. He wanted to figure out how we humans could actually use it effectively. And to explain that, he came up with a really simple but powerful visual metaphor. And here it is. This charming little cartoon from his original article is where it all started. It lays out this simple 3-step is information. Just look at our paper. Rabbits eat the grass.
That's not very good because too many text.
He actually included this chart in his article, and it is a real eye-opener.
I'll stop here so you kind of get an idea. And you're going to see some YouTuber just uploading this video produced by NotebookLM. If they didn't do any cleanup, you're going to see actually NotebookLM's mark here. Sometime for infographic, you're going to see this as well. Okay, so you kind of know how they produce it. YouTube does not have a policy. I don't think they have a policy like ban you from using it, but they may actually have something trigger and just say this may be generated by AI and something like that. Okay. And they may decide not to pay you, whatever, if you use AI generated material. That I don't know. Okay, so any question? Okay. Try to use it. Sometimes, for instance, a book chapter, reading through it, it's still not sticking. You just copy and paste the book chapter, particularly it's online, and paste it over and just say, ask them to create quiz, flashcard, report, or slide deck, or I like infographic first, and then I go to the slide deck. I don't use audio overview that much. I sometimes create video overview, and a lot of time I don't listen to it that much. I do want to see what slide they produce. Sometimes I take some of the slide from there, other than the slide deck here. And data table is new, depends on the situation. Sometimes it's useful. Another thing, let's do this a little bit. I do all the demo, and eventually I will kind of use slide deck, kind of summarize it and explain it in a little bit detail. Let's see what are the key takeaways. Let me just switch, picking just this one. Key takeaway, lesson learned, key point. I mean, you can do this with ChatGPT, uploading a document. So you can kind of do the same thing, by the way. Okay. Information, knowledge, wisdom, 6 unique characteristics. That's what in my slide. So I'm the smartest NotebookLM, capturing the key takeaway. I didn't talk much about society and economic implications, so that's kind of good. Governance and power, education. And by the way, this is very typical for nowadays large language model chatbot that when you prompt it, they afterward they kind of suggest what follow-up question you can ask, because that's very important skill. Okay, you don't want to have just one shot pumping or one turn pumping and just say, oh, give me this, and that's the end of the chat. Okay, a lot of time it's an iterative process, but at least I think they found out that a lot of users may not know how to ask follow-up question. So the system start to kind of help you out. And by the way, you can ask this. Okay, I can help you with this. This is basically what happened. Okay. How does information replace physical labor and capital resources? So let's just do this quick one. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. So assuming you really like it, okay, this may not be a copy from the original. It has been kind of digested a little bit, but based on the original. Okay, let's assume you like it. You just say save to notes. Okay. That title wasn't that good. Export. Okay, I'm going to just say convert to source. This is a new, I mean, it's new to me. I didn't know this feature exists. So safe to know is, let me just try one more time. Okay. Let me delete it. Delete this one. Okay. Because safe to know, it's a little bit tricky. I'm not sure whether it's about just this end response or all the response previously. Oops, sorry. Yeah, let's assume this is just this one. And I can say convert to source. Guess what happened? It will come back to the source. Input, process, output, relatively speaking. By the way, this is the output here. Those are the tools to help you to generate the output based on the input. This is the interaction part of it. Okay, you can interact and have a conversation grounded in the source that you provided. Okay, unlike large language model, they use their huge knowledge base, whatever we call it, model to answer your question. So when I say I can actually move this to the source, so it's here. Okay. So now I can actually say I like that particular things. Oops, let me just indent it. Anything I can do with this one? No, okay. So let's just do infographic based on that source. I think that's the only one being selected. Is it doing it? I maybe used too many of those. They stop I'm not sure when it's. No, okay. They're not generating it because I think I used too many times today. They stopped. Let me do it. Okay. I'm going to, but eventually you can generate a new source. So let's fall back. Any question before I just fall back to the slide to kind of show you a little bit big picture. It's here. This is pretty big, like 86 megabyte of slide deck, and then I'm going to just download it. Is it opening up? Oh, I see. Need to let me get out of here. Let me close this one. Is it? Let me open it. Okay, there's several purposes for introducing NotebookLM. You can use it as a study tool to help you to study, to learn. And secondly, they help you to create various output or media for various purpose. I have a MBA student just told me the other day he worked for Ventura government agency. Sometimes they need to report to the board on certain issue. There's a thick document and nobody are going to read it. So they use the tool to generate maybe a slide deck or a briefing document and attach to the lengthy document to the target audience to digest. Okay, so that's how we use it. Okay. And by the way, as a student, it may take a few steps. You can get the Google AI Pro for free for a year. So do take advantage of that. Go and figure out how to do it because I'm not a student, so I don't know what's the exact process. You may need to give a credit card, but they won't charge you until 12 months later. They give you more usage and some advanced feature. There are some source that you can watch, including some YouTube video. You've seen this one, and by the way, that's at notes. Okay. They're still in beta, but this has been around for quite a while. I don't know why they still say beta. Video is new, data table is brand new, and so it's still input, kind of process and output. Okay. And by the way, here, those are studio are tool, but whatever you generate will be here. Whatever you generate can be shared. So allow me to, you can share individually whatever being generated, like share, or you can share the whole notebook. Okay. And then you can just copy the link and save the setting, and then you can forward the link to anybody you want to share. So they can come and access actually all your information. Okay. Where is my... Uh-oh, wrong one. We talk about this like web search and fast or deep search. And by the way, Gemini or ChatGPT has the deep search function, which is typical. What deep search really mean? It's almost like produce a high quality industry report. Like I'm interested in NVIDIA, AMD, please conduct a deep research for me, analyze their financial report and find out what's the trend, compare this to company. They give you a very decent one, but this takes a long time. Depends on the version you're getting, the subscription you have, and sometimes it may not be available, or you can only use like 3 times a week or something like that. So there's some limitation because this is very expensive operation. Okay, set up output language, upload different source. There's a term called multimodal. Multimodal means multimedia, YouTube video, PDF file, okay, images. Okay, they can understand it and digest it and use it. Okay, so from different source. Okay, and be careful what you select because garbage in, garbage out. If you identify a source which is inconsistent with other thing, the system kind of get confused. Okay. The core principle is strictly anchoring. What does that mean? It's really based on the information you provide, like audio, video, web link, including YouTube video, Google Drive document, local uploaded file, etc. And what you provide is important. So you kind of curate, okay, selecting the information you want them to use, and then so that's the important step. And by the way, in this case, this is really in Chinese, but the output is in English. Okay. When I demonstrate this, although you have like 3 sources, but you can select only one to produce something, or select 2 to produce something, and they can connect the 2 documents, the 3 documents or more. I think you can upload maybe up to 50 different sources with certain size. And there's a little in the chat middle area, there's a setting. If you click the setting, you can actually, I haven't tried this, but you can select learning guide. So in your chat, they're kind of kicking the learning guide mode to guide you to learn about the source that you provided. And you can also set the length of the response. And in the chat particularly, they would actually tell you where they would do citation with number. If you click on it, they actually show you where in the certain document this came from. Okay, so for research, this is like very important. It's based on this part of the article that I come up with this. This is a studio part, and then you can, any of the pane, you can customize it. This is the audio overview, and you can decide it. I only want one host talking. I don't want 2 hosts talking to each other. Maybe you can say, don't talk too fast here, okay, before you generate it. And this is kind of classify all those output: immersive audio, video summary, visual infographic, which is my favorite, slide. They're doing good job on the slide, and then mind map, data table, and then this is for study, flashcard quiz. And the title, by the way, that I gave the title, I just say knowledge pipeline. We have data pipeline that people use. Knowledge pipeline just means a lot of time I will use multiple generative AI tools, not just NotebookLM, and then run, for instance, read this article, summarize it for me, go to Nano Banana, which is image generation tool to generate infographic. Okay, and not NotebookLM actually has a little bit of everything, so you don't really need to go out of the system to do certain things. They do have kind of internal knowledge pipeline, but in real application, when I use, sometimes I actually use multiple tools, not just one tool. And sometimes I'm not happy with their infographic. I use some other tool to create an infographic. And let me see. Oh, I see. Let me just show you what I meant by that. Let me sidetrack just a little bit. I really like this things about the information replacing physical labor and capital resource. I do want the infographic. Somehow I use all my quota today. So, but I really want it. What do? You can, hopefully I'm not using up my Gemini's quota. In Gemini, you can say create image, which is also it just create image. I copied that. I'll just say create. I like this style, which I kind of know how to describe it. You may want to write it down. I like it. Okay. You don't have to like it, but I like it. Okay. It's called sketch note style infographic. You can just say infographic in general. Okay. And they would take whatever the default. 16 column 9, which is the ratio. That's like for slide, that's almost perfect. Okay. If you don't say that, it may be a kind of long form instead of the wide forms. Based on the following information. So I'm pasting over. This is what I meant by knowledge pipeline. I got NotebookLM, extract something from a document, and answer a question. I like that part, and then I want to use another tool to create something else. Let's see, Pro is usually give you more high resolution images. This may take a little, yeah. When you see Nano Banana Pro, which is the high-end tool, if you use it several times, I don't know how many times you can use it a day. They were still producing an image, but you're going to see Nano Banana, not the Pro. Okay, and then they may say something like, "Oh, by the way, you have to wait until like 8:30 tomorrow morning to start using this feature." Okay. That's good. Okay. So that's pretty good. Okay. I mean, I can probably use it add it to my slide deck. So I kind of didn't pay too much attention, but I think this is actually worth discussion. Okay, in terms of the information society, information economy. That's a term actually we do use, but I kind of didn't mention it, information overloading. So that's kind of good infographic. That's sketch note style is one of my favorite. And you can, let's see. So we have about another 15 minutes. Stop me anytime with any question. Okay, otherwise I will keep going. You know the mind map, but when you click this one, then they refer to the source and show you where they kind of explain this, okay, in the chat. That's kind of new to me. I didn't even know you can click on that because I usually just click on this, expand it, shrink it. This is saving to the node. And then the node can be converted from here, save here, converted to the source. It show up here, and then you can use this source to produce another form of output. Okay, so it's almost like you can kind of not recycle, you can go through the loop multiple times and keep refining the knowledge or converting the knowledge, kind of knowledge pipeline. Okay. whatever being produced over here, they call it asset warehouse. Okay. And so you can use this. And by the way, when you say we can use it, how do we use it? Certainly you can go back and use it, copy and paste, whatever. But we can also do the following during Gemini. You can upload document. You can certainly upload that information as resource PDF file, but you can say, hey, I do have that notebook about information as resources. Okay. And that actually we have 3 of them. See. So you say, so basically you refer to that notebook almost like an uploaded document, but it's not a single document. It's a bunch of things, a lot of things that you may have produced. And then here, let's say, just say explain the DIKW for me, which is the hierarchy. So they're going to explain this based on mainly the notebook, information in the notebook. I believe also including the generated asset or output, not just the source itself. Okay. Provided document, his definition pyramid, also no knowledge pyramid, wisdom hierarchy. Oops. No, thank you. So data, the foundation, information, that's pretty good. Action, future, vision, moving up the pyramid. They create a table. And by the way, this is kind of source. What is data, information, knowledge? What they're referring to. And okay, so they fully embrace NotebookLM in Google's AI generative AI ecosystem. In my opinion, it's one of the very successful product other than their chatbot, which is Gemini. This converting to source, so we kind of go through that kind of knowledge pipeline and processing the information the way you want it. This is the data table, but this is the infographic. This is not the actual one generated. And you can, so that's integration with Gemini or Gen, which we'll cover what Gemini Gen is in the future. So input, process, output. Okay, and that's the loop. And so what's the advantage? It's source grounded. That's the keyword. When they answer the question, it's grounded to the source. In contrast with large language model, which has always been blamed for having so-called hallucination. Okay. Personally, I felt there's nothing wrong with, hallucination got a bad rap. People always point to hallucinations. Oh, you shouldn't use large, you shouldn't trust any more people hallucinate. Hallucination sometimes is a form of creativity if you use it properly. So the whole thing, not any tool, if you're using the right place, that's the right usage. If you're using the wrong place, that's the wrong usage. So you have to kind of know its limitation and use it properly. Okay, so hallucination is not all bad. Let's put it this way. If you need to do brainstorming, you probably don't want to use NotebookLM and say brainstorm this idea based on the source. They may not do it properly. Okay. But technically, internally, typically we don't have control. There's something called temperature. You can control the large model. If the temperature higher, they're more creative. Okay. Technically, they say, oh, it's more random when they pick up the next word when they answer the question, which to most of the users, it looks like, oh, they're more creative. Okay. So sometimes you want to be higher temperature when you want to have more diversified thinking and creative thinking. But if you want something very, very strict, then lower the temperature. Okay. But this is at the API level you can control. If you interact with Gemini or ChatGPT, usually you don't have that control. Study tool, organize your thinking, spark new idea a little bit. There's someone wrote a book. It's like building a second brain. Yes.
I had a question, not necessarily regarding the particular like applications, but kind of going back to the beginning of the lecture, you mentioned that with the AI using AGI, it's going to be probably huge things most likely. Wanted to get your thoughts on like these things will happen. Like will the workflows be completely displaced and people need to find like maybe like a creation new job that people didn't have to go through, or is it going to be? Do you think it's going to be basically or for everyone?
That's the kind of $1 billion question. I'll give you my 2 cents. There's really 2 camps to some extent. There will be some displacement in terms of in the workforce, certain job. Programmer actually got laid off, by the way. It's like they are the one producing the tool, but the tool first replaced them. Okay. And some argue that lawyer, accountant will be the next, or whatever knowledge worker. If your job is like wordsmith, which is reading material, producing another form of material, sometimes even number crunching a little bit, we call it data analytics, and the tool can help you. Okay. There's an argument saying that you don't be afraid of those tools. You only need to be afraid of people who know how better use those tools than you are. Then you will be the one to replace. So learn and embrace those tools. Make it part of your toolkit. And at a much more higher level, at the society level, I was reading, I forgot, I think I forgot who said it. It going like this. There will be new job created because of the new economy, like information economy. This will be whatever we call it, generative AI economy or digital workforce, whatever we call it. There will be new job, but the creation of new job will be a little slower. The displacement of the workforce will be almost exponential. That may be the case. So to some extent, they may be a gap. Okay, and that could be dangerous to society, to some of us livelihood or job opportunity. Okay. So I don't have any wisdom in terms of pointing you to one direction or the other, but I do embrace it. Okay. But at the same time, I do want to point out the following. Don't be over-reliant on such a tool and stop thinking. Okay. You still need to learn to have curiosity, to be able to relay things that you have learned, because otherwise you don't know, first of all, you don't know what question to ask. Useful, interesting question to ask. Secondly, you don't know how to judge the output from those generative AI tools. Is it correct? Does it make sense? You don't know how to ask follow-up questions if you don't have some knowledge yourself. Okay, so I think that's important. Okay, because just like this capture, you need to decide, is this a good document that I should feed into the system? You cannot just, I'll do the search and I'll trust everything you find and I'll put it in. There may be conflicting information, system get totally confused. Okay. At the output end, you look at it. Sometimes in the middle processing part, it may get too complicated. It's like a black box, and you say, no, I really don't have time or skill set to go into it. That may be fine. Okay. If you have the capability, you open it up and say, what's happening here? There's a technical term, we call it observability, which means I want to see what's happening in that black box. sometimes the system is really a black box. There's no way to observe. But sometimes there's a way to actually look at it. Okay, and so you still need that capability. Okay. Just my own experience, don't chase. Some of you are eager to learn, maybe chasing whatever new tool on the market. That is fine, but find the tool that you feel comfortable learning thoroughly. When another tool come out, there may be some similarity. It's easier for you to learn another tool. If you just dip into each one of them on the surface, then that's not deep enough learning. Okay, so eventually you're not really learning much. You just say, oh, I know a little bit of that, a little bit of that. That's not very good. Try to be good at a few tool, and then you can relate and learn other new tool come on the market, because there's a lot of time there's a lot of similarity. Okay, that foundation will help you. So NotebookLM, not NotebookLM. This is the idea is that we need to learn. So we need to kind of what information we need to collect, how we organize it, how we digest it. Like infographic is actually a very, very good way of distill, digest the information. Just on the side, when you try those infographic, the document, some of them doesn't make sense. Some of them I usually not shocking, just like, wow, they really understand this document. Okay, their understanding is very impressive, at least to me. Okay. I cannot draw those nice diagrams myself, but I'm the visual thinker. So when I see like, oh, this one, yeah, I got the idea. This makes sense to me. Okay, instead of reading the whole thing and afterward I forgot about what are the key points. This just so I have kind of different infographic. You can compare that. This was maybe from different source, different YouTube video. And this is actually YouTube video, and they kind of customize the infographic so you can, this is actually time mark of that video, and they tell you, oh, you can do this style, that style. And this is kind of custom system prompt that you can use. You have a lot of fun with this one. That's how you use it. This is similar, novice, master. And once again, it's source grounding on the right-hand side, NotebookLM. And then Gemini and ChatGPT, the generalists, they kind of know everything. And then but when you have a very specific question, you better provide a document. Even using Gemini or ChatGPT, you can upload documents. Please answer this question based on that document. Then you have similar function like NotebookLM. But NotebookLM has multiple way of producing the information in different forms for you. This is just another form of infographic, panoramic view, which is kind of more organized. This is what I show you. Like you can link to a NotebookLM when you use Gemini. This is just another view, landscape overview. I got this from a YouTube video, which kind of very, very organized. And by the way, the video original is in Chinese, but this is totally in English. I can show you where is the Chinese version? I have the Chinese version here. I don't think I use NotebookLM. I use Nano Banana or ChatGPT. I said, translate all the Chinese in the image and make it English. They did kind of decent job, 80, 90%, and I have to do a little bit of menu fixing to get it. Okay, I'm going to stop with just this one. I forgot whether I used NotebookLM or I used Nano Banana. I was reading an article. I will share that with you. It's a little bit philosophical article going back to the history and talking about the impact of this technology. We need to think differently in terms of the society and the business world. I'll send out the link by email to you. You can search. It's called Steam, Steel, and Infinite Mind by the CEO and founder of Notion, which is a software for personal knowledge management. Also have AI capability. I think you will enjoy reading it. But this is kind of in accent capture what's in that article. It just published not too long ago. Okay. Play with it. There's no assignment on this, but do use this to study, and then you will see. I'm using it for certain slide creation. Okay, that's it. And just check email sometime. I think I have a simple assignment for you to submit your resume, so I know who you are. Okay. I'll see you next week. Bring your laptop computer. We're going to do. I may send an email and ask you to try to set up VS Code before next class. Okay, I'll give you some information. Take care. Good night. Take care. Yes,
Stephen, by the way,
yes.
where it looks to know, so for this class, when it's every Tuesday,
Mhm.
everything. I have work every other Tuesday from 4 to midnight.
Mhm.
So I
Every,
work
every,
every other Tuesday.
every other
So like,
Tuesday. Okay.
next Tuesday, I have work.
Okay,
And I was wondering
sure.
if that's okay, that like.
Yeah, just send me an email to remind me
Okay.
that's the situation, because I usually, between you and me, I will, because if I remember, I usually try to remember, I record the lecture.
Yeah, I saw you doing that today.
Yeah, so I would share that with you. You can keep up. Most of the lecture, I have some past, I mean, on the course website, I have past, let me just stop it. Oops, sorry. That's right.
Look at that, you have the extra monitor. I was thinking about getting one of these. Are they
Mhm.
nice? Are they helpful?
Yeah, I mean, I did it at home. I have a